Hi, this is Kevin Hickerson, President of the Fairfax Education Association, and today I'm joined by special guest, Delegate David Bulova from the House of Delegates 37th District. Good to see you today.
It's great to be here.
Well, we just wanted to ask you a couple questions about teacher licensure. What are the central issues that surround teacher licensure in Virginia?
Yeah, and so teacher licensure, it's really part of a broader set of issues dealing with how do we recruit and retain the very best teachers possible. And a frightening statistic to me that was brought to my attention by our Secretary of Education is that in 2016 we had fully 1,000 classrooms that on the first day didn't have a teacher in place. And we know that that kind of continuity and having somebody in there at the first place is very, very important for a child's education. And Fairfax County is not immune to that. And in fact, it's a growing problem that started to evolve over the last couple of years. Teacher licensure and how do we make sure that we are getting qualified teachers into the classroom and removing some of the hurdles that are out there is a big part of making sure that we're recruiting and then ultimately being able to retain those individuals.
Okay, so what steps did the General Assembly take last year to help address some of these issues?
Right, and so the bill that was introduced, it was actually introduced by Delegate Steve Landis, who's the chair of the Education Committee. And he had put in a relatively large bill that dealt with several aspects of teacher licensure. I think the two most important parts of those were, number one, how do we make sure that teachers who have successfully taught outside of Virginia, that they can come into Virginia and get their licensure requirements taken care of and start teaching. And so, in this area, it's very, very competitive, and so we want to be able to take advantage of those who are willing to come over from other states into Virginia. The other part that's very, very important are those people who are making mid-year transfers, who've decided that they were working in business or working in someplace else and think, you know what, I'm very passionate about teaching and I want to be able to get involved. And so we want to make sure that we give those individuals a path to get into our school systems and that we can take advantage of their talents while at the same time not setting them up for failure because we don't want to provide those licensure requirements so quickly. We don't want to provide them with the backup that they need so that, number one, they can succeed, but also number two, we never want to compromise the quality of our public education.
Sure, and that kind of leads into my next question. What role did the VEA play to make sure that more licensors were out there, but at the same time maintaining the quality of the education?
Yeah, and so VEA was absolutely critical, and so they were very proactive once this bill came out to look at, hey, what is it that we really like about this bill? What is it that we don't like about this bill? And then what are the areas that we can really work with? And so they sat down with me, they sat down with members like Jawan Ward, who's a teacher, and we were able to communicate with the patron of the bill and really craft it in a way that was a positive bill all the way around.
Okay. So what can we do in the upcoming session to make more licenses possible?
Yeah, and so as you mentioned, teacher licensure is really just a small part of really getting that recruitment and retention issue solved in Virginia. And so really the first part of that is teacher salary. And so we need to make sure that our teachers are being paid in a way that's commensurate with their professional responsibility and their professional training. And that way, more people are joining the field and competing for those jobs in Fairfax County and in Virginia. And I think that's a really good thing. But also, we need to make sure that our teachers are being treated as the professionals that they are. And so that is part and part of what we're trying to do with standards of learning reform. It's part of what the Standards of Learning Innovation Committee is trying to do to make sure that our teachers can actually teach, they can instill a love of learning in their students, and ultimately make sure that they're providing the leadership within their schools in order for their students to succeed.
Wow, it sounds like a lot of great things are going to be happening this year. And if you want to be a part of that, one, you should join the Fairfax Education Association and the Virginia Education Association. And two, if you're already a member, you should come to our lobby day and talk to great delegates like David Bulova, and also join our VEA fund and our FEA PAC to be able to help donate and make sure that we have great public educators in our school system. So again, I want to thank you again for coming out today.
Thanks for your leadership.
Appreciate it.